What? Okay, I'm not going to say because it drives me nuts when people say circle back. Someone just said it to me the other day, let's circle back to that later. No, we're not circling back to anything. Let's go back to that later, or let's come back to that, or let's talk about that later. What is happening with people? I know what's happening. Old. Okay, so I was playing the simple, very, very simple song Laughing Gas, or Communication Breakdown, whatever you want to call it, by Quiet Riot, or Led Zeppelin. Again, I was going to say Led Zeppelin. Playing it. Dun 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 dun. Bing. Bunk. Burn. So when I go bunk, there's a G in there. So. Bum, 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 bum. Bing. That's the G part. That's the way I was taught. Now there's two or three other guys, but I put a link, but I couldn't find the guy where he was telling me, I'll send you a link, and it might not go through, and it didn't. As soon as he hit send or comment on YouTube scratched the link. They do that sometimes, depending on where you get your link and how you post it, and if you have a brain. So the other guy is saying, oh, you have to do this. You have to go. Okay, get it? So if you listen to the song, they're going ba 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 ba. The drums, Drew Forsyth, who is a very, well, I haven't talked to him in a long time, but we were very good friends at one point. I mean, we were like getting wasted drunk, which isn't very good, but yeah, so we would get drunk like 4 or 5 nights a week. And my guitar teacher, or my last guitar teacher, Craig, he was Randy's best student, like, so when Randy took lessons at the guy who took, was teaching at Musonia when he was a kid, and then the teacher goes up to Dolores and says, I've taught him everything I know. He knows everything. I've got no more to teach him. Maybe he should start teaching. And then Dolores says, would you like to teach? And Randy's like, yeah. So he started teaching, and then that's when he got the idea of, I'm going to get out of school and do this full time. But he was like he was 17. And so he took his GED and got out. The equivalent. So he graduated basically with high school diploma, and And Randy told me the story. He just left out the part where you have to be 17 and able to do that. They won't let a 16-year-old take the GED and go. You have to be 17, and then you can take the GED and go. So by the time I got into 10th grade, it was 1980, 81, I think. Yeah. So I get in, and the first day of 10th grade math class, I hated math. I hated it. I didn't do any work the first week. And, you know, it was all in-class work. Didn't have homework every night. And then Friday night, he's like, okay, there's some homework. This is what I want you to do. Blah, blah, blah. Bring it in Monday. So Monday comes around, and I go, this is my time to shine. I'm going to get out of this school and take the GED. But I don't know how to get out. How do you get out? Oh, I'll just get thrown out. So the math teacher's like, okay, everybody pass your stuff in. So he passed me. He's looking. Mr. Skews, you didn't turn in your homework. Nope. And I'm sitting in the back like I always did. Just because I didn't like to be in the front, and I like to, you know, draw and stuff on my folder or do stuff that was not, you know, I wasn't like getting high. Kind of in 10th grade, but it stopped in 11th grade, and I hadn't smoked pot actually since 11th grade. It's just not my thing. So the teacher says, why didn't you do your homework? I said, I didn't feel like it. He goes, what? I said, I didn't feel like it. He goes, okay, well, you need to give me more of a reason than that. I mean, were you sick? I go, no, I just didn't feel like it. He goes, well, you can't just not do your homework because you didn't feel like it. I go, yeah, I can. He goes, no, you can't. I said, fuck you. Sorry. I try not to cuss on these videos. He said, what? I said, F you. And everybody's in the class like, you know, holy crap, what is this kid doing? Is he lost his mind? I'm like, no, this is a very well thought out, planned way to get out of school so I could take GED, and I wasn't going to teach, I was going to start playing. Even though I wasn't good enough to even get my ass down on the strip, but I'd find all that out pretty quick. So anyways, he's like, I can't believe I'm hearing this. He goes, I'll give you one chance to redeem yourself. Say you're sorry, do the homework, and turn it in tomorrow. And I just said it again. F you. He goes, come here. He goes, take this note up to the principal. Not this vice, not the counselor, the principal. I'm like, whatever, let's get this done. So I go up there, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to get sent to, what did they call it? Whatever they called it. The class for people that, you know, aren't functioning well in school, or they got problems, or whatever. You know, they missed a lot of school, so they get sent to, I can't remember the name, but it was a different, at that time it was in these little bungalows. It always reminds me of bunghole. They were across the street from Burbank High. So he'd just be sent there, he'd go for a few months, take the GED, and then he was out. That's what I thought was going to happen to me. So the principal's furious, and he's like, "What the hell's wrong with you? You're expelled. We're not going to tolerate this kind of stuff at this school." I'm like, whoa! What about sending me to whatever school, whatever the school was that they sent my dear little ex-wife to when she got pregnant when she was 16? God, I can't remember the name of it. And I go, whoa, just send me there. He goes, no. We don't want you here. You know, you're going to wind up in prison with an attitude like that. I'm like, this is all going really bad. I go, no, I'm sorry. He goes, no, it's too late. Teacher said he wrote it all right down here. He said he gave you a chance. He gave you several chances. You wouldn't, cooperate. You just kept saying the F word to him, and now you're here. So, goodbye. I said, no, please. I'm sorry. He goes, no. He goes, "You're gone." I'm like, oh crap, this backfired big time. So I took the letter and I walked home, and my mom went insane because she dropped out of high school. Her and my dad both dropped out of high school to get married. Because you could do that in the early 60s, very early 60s. Because my dad had a good job he was going to go straight to, and they were going to just start a family, and that's what you did. You could go to school, you could drop out, whatever. It wasn't the end of the world. It still really isn't the end of the world, but it just doesn't look good. It's like, why did you drop out of high school? Well, I wasn't thinking. Well, you might not think at our job, so try somewhere else. It's just not a good thing. I mean, just finish high school. And then go to some college and take, because if you go, yeah, I finished high school and I had a major in commercial art and music. And then you can go, and then I went to, college. You don't have to tell them what. I just went to community college, and I took political science and computer science, and got, passed the computer science. You either passed or failed computer, and the other one you did whatever you did. Political science, which was a great class. I loved it. Anyway, so my mom came back down, drove me back down, and we had the counselor, vice principal, and principal, and then the teacher came up, because now it was lunchtime, and we're all sitting around, and I'm like begging, and my mom's crying. That's what did it. They just said, okay, this kid he blew it. He thought he was, because I told him the whole story. I didn't tell him Randy Rhoads, but I just told him my guitar teacher did this, and I thought I would do it. I thought it would work, but it really backfired on me. It sure did, didn't it? So there's your story. Like Randy Rhoads telling me how he got out of school to teach full time. I tried to get out of school so I could just start playing full time, and I almost blew everything. So what happened is they brought me back in, but no math teacher would have me. So they put me in, I was a teacher's assistant for the special ed kids. And I'm like, no, not the retard class. And they're like, look, it's either that or you're expelled. And my mom's like, you're doing it. I'm like, okay, because they said just for a year, just for 10th grade. Because I just got in high school. And back then, high school was 10, 11, 12. So I did such a great job at helping these kids. And, it's really sad. Some of these kids would be bullied. And so I ended up beating up other kids because, they would come in and say, Paul Dingle Dingle is picking on me at lunch. Will you do something? I go, yeah. And I go up and I, push him up against the wall and punch him in the head and go, touch that kid. Or you say anything to him again or her? They picked on anybody that was. And when you were on the other side, because I used to do that too, pick on those kids. But when I was their friend and standing up for them and helping them and getting to know them, it all turned. So they kept me in that class all 3 years of high school, which was great, because that meant I only had to take 4 actual classes, which was PE, art, photo class, like taking pictures with a camera, not, Photoshop, and art, and another one. Oh, printing. That's all I did. I took those classes, and then I was a teacher's assistant in the other ones. And then they did the work, because they said, you got to do math, so you're going to get, you got to get a math, pass your math thing, but you're going to do it while you're doing your teacher's assistant stuff in that class. I'm like, how? And the teacher's like, don't worry, we'll do the work. Then you write it in your hand writing or whatever, and we'll get it done. Oh yeah, I had to take history, 1.5 year, so 3 semesters of history that I had to show up for. No big deal. The only thing is I got, that's in 11th grade, is when I and it turns out it was laced with PCP. And I was seeing monsters jumping out of the chalkboard. I was freaking out. Apparently, the teacher's like, Michael Skews, because he had asked me a question, and I was like seeing a movie, a horrifying movie, jumping out of the chalkboard at me, and so that was the end of my me smoking pot. Nah. Because then if I even smelled it, I'd have a flashback. That stuff is bad news. Angel does. Peace be.